Hello there. We are so excited to be back with you guys in the new year. It's officially 2022. It's been a little bit of a doozy already, but we are excited to get rolling and keep our Teaching Tuesdays going. And today we are talking all about net worth. It's the perfect piggyback to the goal setting conversation that we had with you back in December. Because honestly, one of the greatest goals that you can set for yourself this year is to increase your net worth.
Yes.
But in order to do that, you have to know what your net worth is. So we want to talk all about what net worth is in the big picture, and then also why it's important for you to know that and how do you calculate that.
Let's start off with a question. What do you think the average U.S. household is for their net worth? Any guesses? Any guesses? Come on, I love some answers. Okay, I'll tell you. It's just over $121,000. As of 2019.
Yeah.
How does that compare to what you were thinking? Is that higher? Is that lower than you would have been imagining? Do you know your number?
It actually surprises me. I would have thought that the average net worth would be higher, to be perfectly honest.
And that's when I said these numbers came from 2019. A lot has happened, obviously. Stock market went up, housing prices went up in 2020 and 2021. So as soon as we get those numbers, it'll be a little bit more accurate. But yeah, so we wanted to start off with that. Also, another side note to that is huge difference. Although that is the median average income or the average net worth for American families, it is a huge discrepancy between homeowners and renters. Check out these numbers, guys. $255,000 compared to just over $6,000. Oh my gosh, does that shock you? I've seen this
Does
number.
it make you want to buy a home?
Yeah. This is a number that we've talked about in our real estate circles for 15 years, and just as long as I've been in it. And I'm sure it was going on before then too, because it's a consistent thing that if you own a home, your net worth will grow. But that's even just seeing that difference. It's a 40x difference between being a renter and being a homeowner. So just wanted to throw that out there if you needed a place to start with increasing your net worth.
I love it. We're going to go back to the basics really quickly because even Christina had a Freudian slip there and said household income instead of net worth. Yes. And it is such a common misconception that your net worth is your household income. Not even close. Your net worth, big picture, your net worth is your total assets. So everything you own, your house, your cars, minus your total liabilities. So every payment you have to make. Just really big there. Really
so we're gonna take you through the process of what Katie and I are doing right now to track our net worth, because this is important to us. Again, with our goals that we talked about a couple weeks ago, we both want to grow our household net worth. So this is something that we're doing on a quarterly basis, is updating these numbers and tracking them for this next year.
Yeah, and an easy way to grow your net worth is to get a raise, make more money. That's not always possible, but there are other ways that you can do that as well. But first you have to understand how to calculate your net worth. So I already kind of, in my big picture, dove into it a little bit, but basically you want to evaluate what you own. Is that a home, cars, stocks, portfolios, your 401k? These are your assets, right? You can also think of it as, what do you pay insurance on, right? You could include your wedding ring, guns, the list kind of goes on and on there.
Collections, and what is worth money? What is valuable? What has a dollar amount if you were to sell on the open market?
Exactly. Those are your assets. So those go in your credits column, right? Raised
So
by two accountants. Credits column.
So imagine we're creating a spreadsheet, and I encourage you to do this. We do this just on Google Sheets, and you just start off at the very beginning is all your good news, right? Your good news. Let's put out everything that counts for money. So what Katie just said, put a little line for each of those things and what exactly they're worth in the fair market value.
And don't forget your bank accounts.
Yes,
you get to include the money that's already in the bank. Things you don't have to cash out. So what do you have in checking and savings? Do you have multiple accounts? Whatever that looks like, make sure that there's a line on that spreadsheet for you there as well. The reason we like utilizing spreadsheets is because all you have to do is click sum and you've got your total assets right there.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's a really big number, because especially if you already own a home, you saw huge increases in your equity already. But that just adds adds to your total net worth at the end of the day. If you liquidated all of your assets, where would you be today? The next part is, so we've got our credits column, we've got all of our assets right here. Oh, we're feeling so good. Now we have to look at our debts. So we have to calculate our liabilities, our debits. That's our debits column, right? Our debt is our debits column. We're going to subtract those from our assets to get a total net, means total net worth at the end of this. So your liabilities, most likely, again, if you own a home, it's going to be your mortgage. If you own a car, you probably maybe have car loans on that you're paying off. Any credit card debt. Honestly, I take a snapshot. I know we both take a snapshot. We both pay off our credit cards every month, which if you're able to do that, do it. You can play the game and your credit card will actually pay you back if you've got a rewards card in any way. That's a side note there. Take a snapshot today and factor in that credit card debt today, because again, it's if I liquidated today, what would need to be paid off? That is a factor in it. Even if you pay those credit cards off every month, factor that in as a snapshot today to your net worth. Student loans, any payment plan will be included in this. Take into consideration any debt that you have, whether it's on the books or not. So if you have some sort of family loan, if mom and dad gifted you $10,000 for your wedding, but you're expected to pay that back over the next 10 years, you need to factor that in, because that debt will need to be paid back as well. So now you've got all of your liabilities. Anything that you're paying back is a liability, and that goes into your debit column. And now, to figure out your net worth, especially if you're using a spreadsheet, just subtract your liabilities, your debits, from your assets, your credits, and boom, you know what essentially your net worth is. We joke because it's like, I mean, there are always fees involved in liquidating and everything like that, but the reality is this is where your net worth snapshot is today. And then set a goal for where you want to be a year from now.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that 10% growth, 20% growth, 100% growth? How are you going to do that?
Yeah. Like Katie said, you can get a raise, sure. You can get a side hustle, sure. You can also work on your savings, right? Yeah. There's lots of side hustles out there these days.
That's a new thing.
Savings. Save. Give a good reason for that, and save more so that you can invest more. Have a plan. There's lots of different things that you can do, but basically what we're talking about today, how to find your net worth number and how to track it. I would really encourage you to do it quarterly.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing, is updating that snapshot quarterly so that you can exactly see where you're going through that this year, and you're more in control that way. I mean, if you want to influence that net worth number, then you need to track it. You need to spend the time to do that. And if you're scared of it, don't be, because that's not ever going to help you.
Knowledge is power.
Get rid of that.
It may be really low. You may be under zero, like your net worth. People have a negative net worth, and that is a reality for so many people. So do not be scared by that. Empower yourself, though. Like, knowledge is power, numbers are power. They don't lie. And the best thing that you can do is empower yourself by understanding where you are today, and then setting a goal for where you want to be tomorrow or a month or a year from now. Because Christina always says this, but where you focus, where you put that energy, you see growth. And if you want to see growth, which I know we all do, I don't want to work for the rest of my life, but the reality is there are going to be expenses that I have to incur once I'm past the point of wanting to work. Well, how am I going to afford that life, to continue living when I no longer want to work? I need to be focused on that today in a 20-year plan, so that I'm not working until I'm 90, because I want to live to 95.
And shortcut, own a house. Go buy a house. If you haven't bought a house yet, please go buy it. All my friends who I've been telling this to for the past 10 years, I'm talking to you, and I'm talking to anybody else who maybe sold their house and decided to rent for a little while before buying again.
Hoping the market would come.
Terrible time to do that. That is in the past. That mistake has been made. Get back in the game.
Yeah.
Buy a house if you haven't yet already. If you already have, great. That's wonderful. Buy an investment house.
Yeah.
Like, let's keep investing in real estate.
Yeah, there is a housing shortage. There is a surplus of renters
Mm-hmm.
needing places. It is a great time to move in that direction.
You would be blown away by what people are willing to pay in rent right now. So if you own a home and you're just thinking, well, I've got some extra money and I know I need to put that to work for me, inflation, everything else, like I need to put this money to work. Talk to us, talk to somebody about buying an investment home.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. Well, that's a good point. We didn't talk about this actually. Is how do you calculate? How do you figure out? I mean, your car value, or it's easy to know your loan amount, right? Like you go into your accounts. We didn't discuss actually figuring out those numbers. Go to Kelley Blue Book and get a general estimate on what the value of your car is. Call a real estate agent. Call us. Ask for an estimate on your home value. We're happy to do that. Any agent will be happy to take that phone call. But reach out and utilize the resources. If you have stocks, a portfolio, 401k, reach out to your financial advisor or whoever's managing that account for you and figure out where you are with those accounts so that you can accurately assess your net worth. And then compare it to the national averages, compare it to where you want to be, set goals, and then figure out how you're going to make those goals, that growth, a reality.
Yeah.
So
and if you need any references for people, financial advisor, tax accountant, those kind of people, Katie and I are talking about finances all the time. We've got a wonderful women's group that meets and kind of discusses these things. So we've got great references if you need someone. So it's not just talking about houses to us, although we love to do that. It's also really anything finances wise.
Also true.
Yeah.
Also true. But yeah, it can be, and it doesn't always have to be in the purchasing side of things. Maybe for you, you're in a place where this needs to be a year of focusing on reducing your debt, paying down debt. But again, know your numbers and put your energy behind it and watch as you see your net worth grow through different changes that you're making. So if you have any other questions for us, reach out. We're happy to answer them. We love being here. And if there's a topic that you want us to cover in 2 weeks at our next Teaching Tuesday, reach out and let us know.
Yeah. Bye, guys. Have a great week.